Hey, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the T&T Podcast. As always, it's Tyler Layfield, joined by my co-host, Torres
What's
Spinning.
going on, baby? What's going on? Hey, we're ready. We're ready. And let me just go ahead and say this. I know we obviously y'all already know we were pre-recorded. I'm saying this in existence. The Steelers have won. So
There you
congratulations,
go. Speaking
Steelers.
into existence.
Congratulations, Steelers.
I feel good about you guys tonight. I feel great about that defense. Big Ben coming back. And hey, Giants. If there's anything here, we'll start jumping into the NFL. But takeaways from yesterday. Not a lot has changed with a lot of these teams. Browns are still the Browns. It looks like the Cowboys are still the Cowboys. You know what I'm saying? Only real changes are a few other teams, maybe like your Cardinals who pulled out a win. But what did you really take away from yesterday's games?
Well, you said it really right on the head. I actually was looking. There was a chart earlier today I saw on Twitter, and it was talking about all the undefeated teams. And you look, well, the Patriots, they usually win on week one. The Saints, they usually win. The Buccaneers, they usually lose. You really look at it. The Bengals, they usually lose, even though they lost in some undescribable fashion. I know.
Some things never change. Some things never change. Ain't that right, Falcons fans?
Matt Ryan playing good. Matt Ryan playing good. The Falcons still losing. You're going to get you your fantasy points.
He did.
Getting that win.
He did.
Cowboys choking it late, something controversial always with the Cowboys on some type of catch. Nothing changes. Nothing changes. So Packers, Aaron Rodgers looked good. And, now the only thing that changed up for me, I did not expect the Eagles to blunder that like that.
Yes.
I did not. But
golly, you could tell that they are depleted offensively. Like that offensive line is hurt bad. They had a late scratch with Lane Johnson, who's a great offensive lineman for them, and that really it makes a difference when you've got guys like the number one pick this year, Chase Young, coming at you. You've got guys from the past, like they got a good bit of Alabama guys that have been first-round picks on that defensive line as well, and they've just really bolstered that defense. Washington, they got a great defense. The question is, about the offense, and they played really hard, and kudos to them for doing that for Rivera going through cancer and everything. That was a great story for week one for sure.
That was. I really enjoyed that for Washington team, to come back after that game, because I was watching early on, and Wentz started out really good. He threw for 2 touchdowns, had over 100 yards in the first half, and I think it was up 17-7.
17-0 at one point. 17-0.
See, look at that. And then they scored a single point in the second half. So, that defense, they showed out. Dwayne Haskins actually played really well, so that was good to see. I saw little snippets of that game. One of the other games that really got to me were the Jaguars and the Colts a little bit.
Yeah.
Gardner Minshew, only one incompletion, man. He played really well. That's the team you wouldn't expect to win that first game like that. I will say Marlon Mack being injured, now he's out for the season. Probably had an effect on the Colts a little bit, but still, though.
Definitely.
Jaguars getting that win week one. Nobody expected that. A lot of them expected them to go 0-16. I saw some predictions. So
yeah, they were supposedly tanking for Trevor, and pulling out a week one win is great for them. That was one game that everybody picked the Colts. Like everybody.
Colts, I did.
And there's these things you can do called the Survivor Series, where each week you can pick, all right, this team's going to win. And basically throughout the weeks, you end up making a mistake, because somebody ends up upsetting somebody. Like over 1 million people, I saw a stat, over 1 million people were dropped out just from that game alone because they picked the Colts to win. So pretty crazy stuff on that. But hey, speaking of the Marlon Mack going down, it looks like Jonathan Taylor's in for a big season now. That's one guy we need to keep an eye out for fantasy, and he might tear it up, man. One question about him was, can he catch the ball? But I think he had 6 receptions yesterday for 90-something yards. So it looks like he can step up and make the plays for him.
I did not know that. Well, as you were talking about things that don't change, Phillip Rivers at the end of games. What's new, man? What's new, man? Phillip Rivers, he needs to let it go, man. He needs to let it go. He literally needs to let it go. Yeah. I think Phillip Rivers is on his last legs. I say 2 years. This year, next year, that's it with him for the Colts.
Do you think they'd be better off giving it to Brissett?
They did really good. See that people understand. They actually were a playoff team last year with Jacoby. but he got injured. And after he got injured, obviously you're gonna get bad. I mean, your starting quarterback's out. Everywhere, Brissett is a really good quarterback. I mean, is he top 10, top 15, that type of? No, he's not. But he gets you those wins. He plays enough to get you to get great game manager. And sometimes extend plays. I mean, he's really good on his legs. Yeah. So I think, I'm not gonna lie, if Phil Rivers keep playing like this, you might need to look towards Jacoby. So
definitely,
you really do.
One thing that I saw change was the Seahawks. Last year, for years we've seen the Seahawks run. It's like every play is a run, and then the big question this offseason, are they going to let Russ cook? Are they going to unleash Russell Wilson, let him be able to throw? And here he comes. They're opening up the passing game. They pass more, I think, than they ever have so far under like Pete Carroll. So it was crazy.
35 attempts.
Yeah, like they hardly ever used the running backs. I mean, they used like 3 or 4 running backs, but they barely, gave them any rushes at all. And man, they look really good right now for sure.
You're right about that. I go back to 2 years ago when Russell Wilson led the Seahawks in passing and rushing. I mean, and for this game, he also did the same thing. I mean, he had 3 carries for 29 yards. The next closest guy to him was Carlos Hyde for 7 carries and 23 yards. So, jeez. I mean, and then he still threw for 322 and 4 touchdowns. And then you got to remember, he didn't have a single incompletion in the first half. The man was, 12 for 12? And he finished the game 31 for 35. So basically, every pass he threw was completed. So he nearly had a perfect game. And I saw a lot of people talking about Falcon defense already. People already getting on the defense. I know some friends, Andrew Collins. Yes, he's already on the AJ. He don't like AJ Terrell.
I heard. What's his name? Isaiah Oliver didn't do too good either at corner.
Yeah,
so looks like they still got issues there.
Yeah, it's just the Falcons. To me, with Dan Quinn being a defensive-minded coach, like I don't see what he's doing. That defense it should be like top tier. To me, you got the players. I think he got the players now. Now, yes, in the past, the Falcons have done with a lot of injuries on defense to a lot of big-time players. They have. I give you that. But you're a defensive coach. You used to have injuries on the Seahawks, and you still found a way to get them to win. I don't see – I mean, you're supposed to be the man over defense. This is what we thought the Falcons were missing. They always had the offense. They had the offense with what's his name?
Shanahan.
Not even with Shanahan.
Shanahan cut. I think they had Dirk Cutter for like maybe a season or two before him.
Yes.
I can't remember. Are you talking about offensive coordinator or head coach?
Head coach.
Mike Smith, right?
Mike Smith.
There you go.
There you go. You remember the year they went 13-3, 14-2?
Yeah, they had a great season.
Great season. Yeah,
a lot of close wins.
Yes, won a lot of games, went to a lot of playoffs. But they lost a lot of games most of the time to the defense. I mean, I remember when they played Green Bay at home, being 14-2, and you allowed Green Bay to come in and drop 40 on you. After you score like 25 and 26. So that's the type of stuff I'm talking about when you brought in a defensive-minded coach, but the job still isn't done.
Yeah,
I fear for the Falcons a little bit.
It's kind of like what are you bringing to the table if you're not, if we brought you in for this and we're not, getting that. So
getting that, exactly.
Definitely get where you're coming from on that one. Let's move on to the Buccaneers and Saints, man. A primetime game, a lot of eyes on that one. We all wanted to see how Tom Brady was going to do in his debut with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and obviously it was going to be a test. The Saints and the Bucs both have great defenses. I was really looking forward to this. And, Tom Brady started it up real nice. He was looking real good. You were telling us, man, Brady hasn't missed a step, it looks like. And then things started going a little downhill, and the Jameis jokes began. So, what were your takeaways, though, man? What did you see coming from your perspective, thinking, because I know that you were really high on Tom Brady still coming into this, and you actually picked the Buccaneers to win. So coming from that perspective, what are your takeaways there?
Looking at that game, I truly said this, and I said that for a lot of teams. Preseason, not having a preseason game really showed week one to a lot of teams. Especially, I go back exactly to the special teams play, when the Buccaneers were only down, they were down by 14, 31-17. And the guy called for a fair catch on the Lapooch kick.
Yes.
And they ran into each other.
He could have let it go out of bounds, too. It was right on the boundary. Could have let it go. Could have fair
could
caught
let it go out of bounds. But see, that's the thing. When you don't have your preseason games, because this is the first time they're playing against other people.
Mm-hmm.
It's a difference. I mean, you can practice all you want. You can scrimmage against yourself all you want.
Yeah.
And eventually you get to the point where you start knowing the tendencies of your own teammates. So once you start knowing their tendencies, it becomes easy. And then you practice, but you don't practice to like, okay, now I'm practicing without knowing, because most of the time you're gonna know. But now you're playing a real game. And plus, as Troy Aikman said yesterday, the continuity of the Saints being together for so long, because everybody on the Saints have already played together for multiple seasons.
Pretty much, yeah. Really. Besides a few here and there, I mean, you got I think they've added Michael Jenkins, Emmanuel Sanders, guys like that. But for the most part, they've been together for a while.
Literally, with the Bucs, you have a whole different. This is a whole different team.
True.
Last year, people would have called you crazy if somebody would have said at the beginning of last year that you would have Bucs would have had Tom Brady and Gronk on the same team.
Yeah.
They would have called you crazy, and Leonard Fournette. Come on, nobody would ever believe you. But right now, I mean, it's a completely different team. I actually have a lot of positive thoughts with the Buccaneers. I think they're actually going to look much better. They didn't look that bad. They were off because of the chemistry, but they didn't look that bad. I want people to go back and remember when Peyton Manning first played with the Broncos. They started the season out 1-3. He won his first game and lost 3 in a row. He lost to Falcons. He lost to who else?
I think I remember that game too. Is the Falcons came out with this weird defense where everybody was
and destroyed him.
It was really good game plan by the Falcons.
Yes, and who else he played? The Patriots. He played another. I think he also played the Colts. That's right. He lost to the Colts. That's right. He lost 3 games in a row, and everybody was like, "Oh, Peyton Manning ain't got it no more." And guess what? He went on to do. He went on, won MVP. He went on, had the #1 offense of all time, then broke the record for the most touchdowns ever in a single season. It's those small things. You have to give the guy time to have chemistry with his team. I truly believe the way the Bucs looked yesterday early on, I truly believe the Saints is a top-tier team in the league. They're a top-5 team every year. They ain't played no slouch of a team. And as time go on, I think the Bucs are going to be fine. And as we said anyway, I had my prediction. I said the Saints and the Bucs were going to split anyway. And I also said that the Saints were going to be the number 1
team. It can still happen.
In the NFC South.
You're right. You're right. Yeah, I'm sticking with that too, man. I've also picked the Saints coming out of the NFC South. And, man, it's looking good. That defense looked amazing. Drew Brees didn't even have to do much, man.
He didn't.
Honestly, because Michael Thomas was a non-factor.
He was a non-factor.
He had 2 catches.
Give you props. We got to give props to the Bucs defense now. They held their own majority of that game. The Bucs defense.
It's not to be trifled with, man. They played swarming deep. Those linebackers, Levante David and Devin White, they are no joke. They were shutting that run game down. It was awesome. I like watching that. And then they, of course, the kind of mystery pieces were the defensive backs, and they were making some pretty good plays. They got a young defensive back core, so they were making some good plays. By the end of this season, I think you're right. I think they'll end up meshing together. And then, like you said, I think they could end up splitting. So we'll have to see where that one goes. But man, that Saints defense looks good too. I really like what I saw from them.
They do. They do. And I got another thing for you. I was going back and I was like, look at how the Patriots look with Cam Newton.
Oh yeah.
Cam looked really good, and I applaud him because he fit really well in that system. Josh McDaniels, he had multiple plays that he set up. I will say he did run a little bit too much yesterday, but I think with just Cam Newton. Yeah, I remember Cam Newton had played since September of 2019.
Yeah.
And now he's looking phenomenal. The man was on point, made some good throws actually. And it showed Julian Edelman nothing different because he led the NFL in drops last year. He had 3 drops yesterday. So, Edelman, you got to get it back.
Hey, he could have had a touchdown pass, but N'Keal Harry fumbled it in the end zone and gave the team a touchdown.
Exactly. So that's another thing. But I would say the Patriots did look really good. And if another thing about somebody dropping the ball in the end zone, our boy from Georgia, DeAndre Swift.
Oh, my God. Yes. What a game.
What's your thoughts on that one?
What a game, man. Yeah, that one was probably one of the better games of the day. A supreme choke job by the Lions. Oh, my God. Very bad. Losing to Trubisky And the second
and he makes the
half,
game-winning touchdown throw too.
yeah, he somehow ended up clutching it out somehow, some way, and then we come down to the final play of the game, really, or it was at the next to final play. It should have been the final play of the game, really. But DeAndre Swift having like a wide open catch in the end zone and just completely botching it. It would have been really nice. I was rooting for Marvin Jones to maybe somehow get targeted because I wanted him for fantasy, but it would have been really nice to have seen DeAndre Swift catch that. Some bulldog love, but didn't end up happening. What do you see with the Lions though out of that matchup? I see some good potential if they can somehow end up pulling this thing together.
I mean, I do as well. I do see a lot of good things with the Lions. I mean, currently you got to remember this: the Lions did play. Like I said, they actually played a really good game. It was up 23-6.
Mm-hmm.
It was up 23-6 to start the game off, coming in the fourth quarter. But that is where the Lions usually do their stuff. The Lions in the fourth quarter, 0 points. The Bears scored 21. You're allowed to go on a 21-0 run without scoring a single point. That is what gave you up the game. You can't get conservative. And, I mean – Matthew Stafford coming back. Adrian Peterson had a decent game.
He didn't do bad. He didn't
14 carries, 93 yards, just coming in. When did he just come in? Like 3 weeks ago? So
I don't even know if it's that amount. I think it may be just just a week and a half to 2 weeks. Yeah.
See, look at that. There you go.
Crazy.
There you go. And Damian Dola looked pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, another one.
Quintez Cephas. Quintez Cephas. He has stepped up. Hey, he's been making waves in training camp apparently, and if Kenny Golladay keeps missing time, we could see some big plays coming from him, man. I noticed that as well. Good call on that one. Yeah.
We could. We really could, man. And I'm excited for him because he had a long catch. He had like, what, a 30, a 29er or 29, I think, 29 yards, 30-yarder catch. I mean, I'm excited for him, man. Let's go.
He's a great wide receiver, man. That's for sure.
He is. And another thing, let's give our shout out to Harrison. He had his first NFL catch yesterday.
Okay.
So
and things are looking good for him now too. David Njoku now placed on the IR. So it'll be Harrison and Austin Hooper now running it at tight end. So we could see some splashes. Everybody hit your waiver wire Wednesday morning.
Guess what? Prime time. They play the Bengals on Thursday night.
Ooh.
Okay, let's go.
Speaking of Browns, it doesn't look like anything's changed, man. I wish our boy Tay the best, but man, it didn't look that great. Baker's still struggling, but then again, let's be real here. It was the Ravens they were playing. The Ravens have a great defense. We got to remember that now. And Ravens still look like they're pretty good offensively. Outside of. I mean, Mark Ingram kind of put up a stinker, but J.K. Dobbins is looking like he's stepping up for them. What'd you see out of that matchup?
You're right. No, but everything you just said was 100% right. The only thing I say is I think the Ravens, they played nobody. I mean, yes, I will say.
Don't do it to them.
I mean, but, bro, I made this prediction at the time. I mean, I just didn't think the Browns really – to me, it's not the players. They have the pieces. I mean, look at freaking Madden. Madden got to give them an overall high ranking because they got so many good players. It's just that these guys are just not coached well, in my opinion. They're just not.
Chubb didn't do much. I mean, they didn't get – Chubb had a tough time running. Kareem Hunt. You got two guys that could both be starters in the NFL. And
they both had 1,000 – you got 2,000-yard rushers on one team, and you can't do nothing with them.
And we can't forget Odell didn't get anything. Jarvis Landry barely did anything.
Yesterday. Jarvis Landry had a decent game, 5 catches, 61 yards. Only touchdown was caught by Njoku, who's now placed on IR. So, man, look, I will say this. The Ravens did look really well yesterday. Give them their props. They got too many weapons, I agree. J.K. Dobbins, Mark Ingram, and Lamar Jackson, they're all running threats.
Mm-hmm.
Lamar had an efficient game, 20 for 25, 275, 3 touchdowns. You can't beat that. I mean, you can't beat that. And a defense that wasn't missing a beat. I mean,
my God.
And I said the same thing to Baker Mayfield, turnover machine, man. I never had the confidence in Baker from the beginning, and I still don't got one. I have more confidence in Burrow than I have in Baker. So
I'm going to try to write it off. I'm going to try to write this one off. I'm going to try to forgive and forget because this was week 1. It was against a great team. I'm going to try to give them the benefit of the doubt. Hopefully the Browns will pick it back up this next week.
hopefully so.
Hopefully so.
Because we got a lot of people that we know on them Browns team, and I don't like to see them lose.
Yes, you
Except
got
when
that
they play
right.
the Steelers. They can lose anytime they want.
Exactly. There you go.
But everybody else
You've been straight up told Tay that. So, I mean, hey, you got that right. Well, any other NFL matchups here? I mean, Pack, besides you mentioned it earlier, Aaron Rodgers, he's doing pretty good. He did great yesterday. Any other things that to highlight here? I mean, we got some other smaller matchups, but nothing too much to talk about.
Yeah, not really. I mean, we already had picked the Chiefs game before that on that Thursday. And we all got it right. Chiefs. And I will say, Chiefs got a running game now, bro. And
count me to the Super Bowl. They're repeating. They're repeating. I hate it. I hate it, Logan. I really do. But you're about to hear more about that man for a whole nother year. Because I think
barring injuries, I think the Chiefs going to the Super Bowl, man. And it's going to be fun. In 2 weeks on Monday night, they play the Ravens. So that's going to be a great matchup to see.
Ooh,
yes, a Monday night. That's going to be phenomenal.
My God. Yeah, that's going to be fun. Definitely.
Okay,
definitely.
Quick thing before we go to the next
one.
Chargers and Bengals. So let me just get this thing right on this kicker. This kicker, I mean, Joe Burrow threw a phenomenal pass to A.J. Green, but they called a push off for a touchdown. So they said, all right, let's bring the kicker out there. The kicker kicks the ball. And then as the ball goes wide right, he wants to drop down and hold his calf.
I do it too, man. I try to
said, did this man just catch a cramp kicking the game-winning field goal? What are you doing?
I got something even better. Did you hear the post? Did you see the post today about him coming out today talking about the injury?
What did he say? I did not.
So he said, I hurt my left calf, but if you go back and watch the video, dude was grabbing his right calf. So he's lying. He told, hey, congratulations, you played yourself.
You played yourself.
He just told on himself on that one, man. That's awful. Ugh.
I saw that yesterday, and I said, that's got to be one of the dumbest. That's got to be one of the craziest things. You missed the field goal, bud. Suck it up. This man dropping down, holding his calf, and it's so bad. It's so bad. The Bengals had a teammate injured, and not a single soul went to him. He had to walk on the field.
God, that's awful.
Nobody even cared about his injury. It was like, dude, you just lost us the game. We keep walking.
For real.
I feel bad for the bro, but
you see people do it though. You see people they'll fake injuries if something goes the wrong way. I don't know. I feel like wideouts do it a good bit when they end up messing up. They'll get up acting like they're kind of hurt or something. But it happens.
Burrow was okay. I mean,
he had a rushing touchdown.
He had 8 carries, 46 yards for a quarterback. It's pretty good.
Yeah.
23 for 36, 193, 1 pick. I mean, his first game ever, no preseason games. How many people just get thrown in the fire like that? They don't play nothing. You playing on full first official football NFL game. And
it's going to be a tough year for him just because of the supporting cast. I just hope he doesn't lose hope. I want to see him survive there. I want to see him thrive there, better yet. And hopefully they'll end up giving him some pieces because, man, even I love their running back a lot, Joe Mixon. He's a stud.
Me too.
He can't even do anything because of the offensive line. The dude had 19 rushes yesterday. Couldn't even break, I think, 60 yards. That's awful. So, I mean, I don't know. We just got to see some improvement. It's going to be a long year, I think. I'd love it if they could turn it around, but we'll have to see.
We'll have to see. And shout out to the Cardinals. Hey, that was a little shock of a pick for me. I think was it Zach or Jackson made that pick? I didn't.
I don't know if I did or not. I know I was kind of teetering. I was teetering.
Yeah, because you was talking about who didn't play? Samuel.
Yeah, Deebo Samuel. So I think I did it. I don't know. I'll have to go back and look, but I think I did pick Cardinals maybe.
Yeah, DeAndre Hopkins really showed. That joker showed.
I didn't know he'd get that big of a target share. He had 40% of the targets of his of all the
catches, 151 yards.
Because they got so many weapons. I was like, surely they're not going to pass to him every play, But I mean, because you got to think about they got Christian Kirk, Larry Fitzgerald, Kenyon Drake. They got a good tight end that's a sleeper, Dan Arnold.
Right.
Andy Isabella. You can go through a bunch of names, and they run 4 receiver sets, 5 receiver sets. But hey, he's still the man. He's going to do good. So
And I would say 49ers, that's their first game. I wouldn't expect them to really lose like that. But, I think the 49ers will get back on track. They're still a good team. I have a little bit faith in Garoppolo. I don't write off Garoppolo yet. He had a decent game yesterday, 19 for 33, 259, 2 touchdowns. So I still got a little faith in him. So.
Yeah. Well, let's shift this over to NBA a little bit. We got a big day tomorrow, don't we, Torres? It's the day. Hey, it's make or break. I've been coming at this man on Twitter here because he's been talking all that smack. This last episode, I recall 2 members of the show saying this could go to Game 7. And I remember a certain face from Torres saying, "Are you out of your mind?" It was just like one of those, have you lost your mind? And here we are. Yeah, just like Stanley, have you lost your mind? Because I'll help you find it. But no, we're here. It's Game 7 now. 2 straight choke games. Are they going to make it 3, Torres?
Tyler, I don't
this.
know, dude. I don't know, man. I mean, this game 5, that Game 5 really hurt my heart. I'm not gonna lie.
I know it did, and it made me joyful.
5, but you know what? I've been seeing a pattern. Here go my another conspiracy. You see how it looked when the Thunders played the Rockets and the Thunders made that surge, and you're like, man, the Thunder's actually going to win this series.
Mm-hmm.
But guess who won Game 7? The Rockets.
Yeah.
You saw when the Raptors made that buzzer beater 3, and he's like, man, the
Raptors made a surge.
Ended.
Yeah.
And they got it to 7. But the best team in the series still won.
Okay.
And I think so far, except for one, but actually I think the Heat might be, as it was already stated, the Heat were already better than the Bucks. They just didn't have the best record because they didn't have the MVP, to be honest.
Mm.
But I would say this: the best team have always won every single one of these series, and I think the best team is gonna win tomorrow. Well, which is recorded tonight. So the best team, the LA Clippers, will win, and let me explain why. Let's go back to Game 5. Kawhi Leonard had a phenomenal game. 36. Game 7, he plays. You've seen it. You've seen it on multiple occasions. He plays at the biggest point. The only thing that's going to negate these boys from winning, his name starts with a P, and that is Paul George. Paul George must play. Oh my God! Oh, there you go.
I got to represent Pandemic P because I need Pandemic P to show up tomorrow.
Well, holy smokes! Because you got and one of the biggest things about this series, this is what's funny. Everybody is playing good, like in Game 5, Game 6. Everybody's playing good, but where the heck is Lou Williams? Lou Williams not playing good. Patrick Beverley ain't scoring work. He ain't scoring nearly nothing. But his defense is account. I mean, his defense on Jamal Murray. But it looked like his defense on Jamal Murray, the first 3 quarters are phenomenal. And then the 4th quarter comes, everybody forgets how to play football. And I'm sitting here like, I'm not football. Basketball. It looked like they all playing football out there.
Yeah.
They're playing football out there. I look at it and I said, are the Nuggets in better shape than the Clippers when it comes to the 4th? That's what it seems like because the Clippers just become lackadaisical. They just forget. It's just like, you're bad now. Like, where was this? Shots started being airballed. We see a lot of airballs that start coming from arm conditioning, muscle fatigue.
I think Kawhi even airballed one last game, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, muscle fatigue. So you look at this, could this Game 7, let's say even though we're in Game 7 and the Clippers win, do they have enough to even get to the Lakers series? And in my opinion, as I said, I don't think there's ever been a team in NBA history that come back down 3-1 in back-to-back rounds. They came back down 3-1 against the Jazz, and they have opportunity to do it against the Clippers, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
But is that an advantage for the Clippers? Is because I've heard some people say constantly playing games like this keeps you in the rhythm. So when they play the Lakers, they're going to be already in the rhythm. There ain't going to be no break. But then again, could they be tired on your legs? I mean, you got
I
first
don't
leg
know.
Lakers team.
I mean, we saw in the Nuggets Jazz series that the Nuggets looked pretty tired through different spurts of that series.
They did.
It was long. If anything, that they should be looking tired, not the Clippers. They just got through with the 7-game series. The Clippers got out in 6 against the Mavericks. So I mean, I don't know. I'm not going to make excuses because apparently they're the deepest team in the playoffs. You know what I'm saying? So they should be able to do like full-on hockey line changes because, man, we could just go through the list, can't we, Torres? That's been our big –
But that's the problem. The guys that we're depending on, nobody ain't scoring.
I saw something. It was the plus-minus for Montrezl Harrell this series, minus 29.
God.
He has been awful. That's your 6th man, ladies and gentlemen. It should have been Schroeder. It should have been Schroeder. Get that man
He
out.
got last game, 5 points. Lou Williams, he had 14. That's better than.
That's okay. Yeah.
That's better than when he game 5. Game 5, he had 2. If he even just got 10 points, it would have won the game.
Yeah. How'd Marcus Morris do? I didn't see that.
5 points last game. 5. You know, all the guys that I was telling y'all about earlier, you know, these guys are not performing. Now, could it be they've never been in this moment before? Because, yes, this is first-time moments for the Clippers. The Clippers never been this far. Well, they've been this far. I'm taking that back. They've been this far, but they never had as much potential to even go further. And they're probably not ready for the moment yet. Because last game, Paul George played.
They better be.
33, 6, and 3. You know, Kawhi played 25, 8, and 5. So your stars are playing, but you need your team. You need your boys off the bench. You need your help. You know, you need them, man. And I can't just sit here and talk about the Clippers like that, man. The Nuggets have been playing phenomenal.
Look, I'm looking at the line right now. That's what I was just looking up. Right now, the Clippers are minus 7.5 point favorites. I'll take the Nuggets, bro. Right now, they look like they got all the heart. They got all the momentum. You saw Michael Porter Jr. come out before the game 2 games ago.
Yes, before game 5.
Yeah, came out talking, and he backed it up.
He is backing it up.
Jamal Murray's playing hard. Jokic is playing hard. The team, dude, it just looks like they
care
care
more.
They care more, bro. It just means more to them. And you know what? I shouldn't be surprised. We have this team full of all these, everybody laughing, having fun on the side, jawing, acting like they done won the championship the year before, and all this. And you got a team that just puts their head to the grindstone, and here they are. Look what they've done. They pushed it. They pushed it to Game 7. Give me them to close it out. I'll say it.
Give me my Clips, man. I can't.
I love it.
I've been with them this long. I will not.
You may as well.
Clippers. You cannot let me down tomorrow. I will be watching. I have Bible study tomorrow, and I will be watching. I'm going to have my Bible and swipe by through the, on ESPN, Lord.
Yeah.
So, but I will be watching. I'm going to get back at home as fast as possible, and I am going to be watching, and I expect Kawhi to do what he did for the Raptors.
He'll get his.
Will this team on? He's going to get his. I think Game 7 he's going to show up.
Kawhi last year, he still needed help, bro. And it's going to come down. Like, Siakam played well for him last year. Ibaka, Lowry, even Gasol. Like, they had good guys. Who's going to step up? Van Vliet. You know what I'm saying? Like, I haven't seen that from this team, really. Paul George, but he's been shaky. It just – I don't know, man. We'll have to see. I'm going to go with – what I was going to say is this game's going to go just like that first game of Deal or No Deal went for you at Dave and Buster's.
Oh,
you stuck with it and you lost. You stuck with it and you lost. That's how.
Viewers, listen to this, man. I was playing Deal or No Deal, all right, and I had got to the end. I mean, I did well first off, and then I started doing bad. I got down to the last. I did the double duty thing on Deal or No Deal. So I was between 500 tickets and 400. All right. So the most I can win was 500, which was the most on the machine. And then the least amount you can win is 4. They gave me a deal. They said, you either take the 252 tickets or no deal and you get what's in your case. And I'm like,
it was like 2 or something.
I've never gotten to 500 before. I said, I gotta take this. So I said, no deal. I said, it's in this case. I know it is. When that thing went down, and I saw that number 4. I lost my mind. I just started going crazy.
I'm having so many ideas going through my head. When the Clippers lose, man, it's gonna unleash me. I'm gonna pull out some Dylan No Deal gifs. I'm going crazy, brother. I'm going crazy.
Oh,
you think you've seen it?
I would be highly pissed.
Ooh.
I would be highly pissed because the Clippers would have let me down when I expected more out of them. I expect them to come into Game 7 and dominate. Yeah. I expect that. That's what I expect. This game cannot get no closer. You can't keep. They're better than the Nuggets, and it is showing. I mean, are you watching the game? You see how they start early. The first 3 quarters, they literally are dominating, and then the fourth quarter comes. Like I said, like things muscle fatigue. I mean, last game. Look, well, actually, the last 3 quarters. Third quarter, Nuggets 30, Clippers 16. Fourth quarter, 34, 19. You're not even meeting the 20 mark anymore.
Mm-mm.
I mean,
give me them dogs. Give me them underdogs, baby. They've been there and done that.
Game 4. Game 5. Nuggets 38, Clippers 25. It's like they just don't do it. I mean, yes, the Nuggets are tough. Jokic, Murray, those boys are tough. And a lot of people's talking bad on Murray's name. It's like, he's not an all-star. He's not an all-star. He's finally playing against a good defense. Mm-hmm. Well, he's showing up when it matters, man. So.
Yeah. All right. So we got one other matchup coming up this week. It's actually coming up tomorrow as well, or by the time you're listening to this, it'll be today. And that is Game 1 of Celtics and Heat. And it should be a good one. 2 great coaches, Spoelstra versus Stevens. 2 of my favorite ones to watch. It's crazy watching the adjustments that they make throughout the games. And that's really what's going to end up having to be the factor if the Celtics are going to win this, in my opinion, because they don't have the depth that Miami does. Miami has came out swinging. They've got fire, bro. They can pull out flamethrowers at any point. Dragic has been a big Perseform hero. Jay Crowder has been popping his threes. Jimmy Butler can take over at any moment, and they got some big men that can, spread the floor, but also play great defense and rebound. And really, you look at it on paper. On paper, if I look at these teams, I'm going to go Miami. But I'm going to have to go Boston. I'm going to have to go Boston in this. And really, it's because they've kind of been here before. Remember, a couple years ago, they pushed LeBron all the way to that Game 7. Ended up failing, but here they are again, right? Here we are. We're back in the Eastern Conference Finals. And we're not – hey, Bron's not there. But, hey, it's still a good team. Stevens, like I said, I think he's going to make the adjustments. Tatum and Brown, it's your time to step up. Marcus Smart, he's going to make a big difference. Give me the Celtics in this series.
I'm on the same trail as you, Tyler. I'm looking at Brad Stevens as well. I mean, he's a top-tier NBA coach. He showed it his first season. He showed it his second season. Or was it first or second season? He got the team straight to the Eastern Conference Finals, and took LeBron and them to Game 7. Actually could have won the game if, old buddy don't miss 19 threes in one game,
Yep.
But the Celtics are a really good team. Overall, I think from top to bottom, they might be the team to beat. I think the Heat defensively, that's what a lot of people got to recognize. The Heat defensively is really good. I mean, you got Jimmy Butler, who's known for being a great defensive player. You got Andre Iguodala, Jay Crowder. You got some guys that play really good defense. I look at Tyler Hero. He's more of a scorer, and this team is really good. This team is really good from top to bottom. I like the Heat, and I like the Heat what they got. I just don't think they have enough for the Celtics. The Celtics, Jason Tatum, Kimball. I will say this now. Game 1 tomorrow is going to be interesting because Gordon Hayward is not playing due to an ankle sprain.
That's going to be a big key. I was going to mention that as well. He won't be there tomorrow, but it's like, when will this guy get back? Because he can be – he did make a difference. A lot of people like to sleep on him because he didn't play – I mean, of course, he had the leg injury, first year in Boston, and then he's been kind of up and down through his time in Boston. Yeah. He hasn't been quite his Utah self, but – man, the guy's been very efficient this year, and to bring somebody of his caliber off the bench, it'd be really nice. It's a luxury a lot of teams can afford in this league, and that could be the difference maker here.
That's right. And I look at Tatum, when it's time to play, he plays, man. I mean, playoff time. I compared him to Kawhi. I said he probably would never win an MVP. Probably would never win an MVP. But when playoff time comes, he shows up. And when it's time to do what's most. Now, yes, there have been a few games early.
Yeah. I mean, I like him a lot.
7?
Yeah, my dad and I, we were watching that last game. We were watching Game 7 together the whole time because my dad, he just likes to, I don't know, he lives for the moment kind of. He doesn't look at past things. So he was just like, he's like, man, he's sucking. I was like, I told him, I was like, let's just put it this way. If the game is on the line, out of all those players on the Celtics, I'd want the ball in his hands. And I know he kept messing up in that Raptors, but the Raptors have a great defense. It's going to be tough. This is really going to show us a lot about Jason Tatum.
It really will. I mean, but you got to remember, look at Game 7, 29, 12, and 7. I mean, he had the best game out of anybody on the Celtics. So I say Jason Tatum has an opportunity to show what he can finally do in the biggest moment. He talked about his favorite player being Kobe, and he has a lot of good moves. I mean,
he does.
He comes at you. He don't have no fear now. I mean, I remember when he came in on LeBron. A lot of folks don't do
He
that.
Dunked on LeBron. I remember that. I hated that, but he did it. He did it.
LeBron come right back down and said, "Kid, let me show you something.
Put this on your head." Yeah. So, hey, how many games do you think? I can't see this thing. It's got to go 6 or 7. It's got to. I don't think either team closes this out within 5. I really don't. Neither team's gonna give up.
Yeah, I mean, dog, this is gonna be a really good series, man. It's the same thing I said about the Celtics and the Raptors. Like, these are just two good, evenly matched teams. I just think it's hard for me to just sit here. I might go Celtics in 6, but it wouldn't shock me if it goes 7. I'm not shocked. I can see Celtics. You go
Celtics 6. I'll go Celtics 7. One of us will probably get that right.
There we go. One of us will be right.
I think one of us will get that right. Hey, and more importantly to note, Zach is still going good on his predictions so far.
Let me tell you something, Zach. You have been a predicting king, bro. If y'all want to put money on, listen to anything Zach says.
Yeah.
Zach has called the Heat versus the Celtics in the Eastern Conference Final, and he also called. What is it, Lakers and
he's calling
Lakers and Clippers.
Anyway, we'll see. We'll see tomorrow.
Which he will be right. He will be right. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And it will be my prediction. Good old Clippers. Well, I say Clippers and Bucks, but I'll take Clippers and Celtics. It's okay. It's okay.
I think we all know where this one's going. It's okay, Torres. This is a safe space.
But we already know who won Game 7 anyway, so it don't matter. Freaking. And the NBA conspiracy is going to have the Lakers versus the Celtics to play in the finals. It might go 6 games and be like, oh, in the name of Kobe. So,
they're going to win it. Give me Lakers, brother. It's not changing. Yes, sir. Well, hey, this has been a fun one. Hey, it's been a minute since we've done just you and I on the show. It was fun doing this, man. I didn't mind. We had some good little discussions here. It's always a pleasure, brother. But, hey. Yeah. Thank you guys for listening in. It's been a blast here so far. You guys have been showing tremendous support. Keep it up. Keep up that support. Do yourself a favor. Do us a favor. Subscribe to us on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Hey, and we actually just started up an Instagram page. It's TT_podcast. Give us a follow there and also on Twitter at the T&T Podcast. All right. Any last words, Torres?
I don't, but I always also say this. The little sweepstakes we did on Instagram.
Yes.
The $20 if you predict the right score. We had some people close. You know,
very close.
Guy, Keever was close. I mean, look, that
Jordan was close.
Jordan, yeah, because the Texans was scoring a lot of touchdowns at the end just because. You know, you had some really close scores, and that Seahawks and Falcons, that was really good. I mean, he said 38-24, 38-25. That's really close.
Yeah, that was ridiculously close.
Yeah, that's really close, man. Ooh. But I mean, we're down to do it again next week, so we'll post it. And hey, whoever gets the opportunity, post your scores, pick one team. And some people don't understand the rules. You got to get the perfect score as it says in the rules.
Hey, there are no honorable mentions. There are no participation trophies here.
We don't do participation trophies on this show. No, sir.
Yes.
You either win or you lose.
That's right. That's right. So share that with your friends as well. If they want to win $20, it's easy. It's easy. All you have to do is predict and share, and I'm saying try to help the show out. That's all you got to do, and you can win free $20. Why not?
There you go, $20.
Hey, shoot your shot. Shoot your shot.
Go buy you something to eat.
Yeah. But hey, thank you guys for listening in, and we'll see you next time.